y'all, it's Kathy and we are back in my craft room here at Random Acts of Crafting, and I am so excited today. I know I've been making a lot of cards, but the reason for that has been I really feel that since we can't reach out to people, we need to make cards and send them. So I hope as you're making these cards that you are putting them in the mail, and you don't have to go to the post office to get stamps. If you leave an envelope with a check or money in your mailbox and just say, I need stamps, and you can look online and see how much it is for a book or a roll or however you buy your stamps. But you can actually get stamps that way. They'll be left in your mailbox. All you have to do is just pick them up when you pick up your mail. A lot of you know that, but for anybody that don't, I thought it was a good little tidbit just to kind of throw out there. Okay, y'all, I got to tell y'all a story this morning. You know that the shorter you wear your hair, the more apparent it is when you need a haircut. And y'all all know that I wear my hair very short in a pixie. I love it like that. I had long hair for years, but when I decided to go gray and not wear my, not color my hair anymore, I went to my beautician and I asked her or stylist I should say, I asked her if she could lift the color. So I let my roots grow out, and I was probably 99.9% silver. So, but I think I've told y'all this once before. I have been coloring since I was 23. I saw my first gray hair at 16, and you know, for that many years of coloring your hair, it just was not something I wanted to continue. So I told her, I said, just cut me off really super short, lift whatever color you can out. And I was in the shop with my girl for a good 6 to 8 hours. It was all day. It was an all day process. Bless her heart, she definitely had her work cut out for her that day. But I had fun. We really bonded. You don't spend that much time with a person and don't get to know them really, really well. But anyway, I wasn't real happy when I got home, but it grew on me, and I would not wear my hair any other way. Well, long story short, here we go. I looked in the mirror this morning and I said, I can't handle this. My hair was sticking out from around my ears. It was sticking up on top. It was hanging in my eyes. I hadn't had a haircut since January. I was supposed to went in March, on my birthday, March 11th, and I called and canceled because I just didn't want to go get my hair cut on my birthday. And then I was supposed to go on the 18th, and then all of the pandemic thing kind of broke out. So beauty shops were closing down in our area. It wasn't safe to be around somebody that was around a lot of other people. So because of my age, and y'all all know I'm 65, and because of my age, and I do have some underlying health issues. I have a nodule on my lung. I didn't think that it was a really good idea for me to go get my hair cut. Oh, how I wish I'd went on March 11th. But anyway, I took the scissors and the trimmer out this morning and I whacked my hair. I don't think I did too bad. I might need my husband to maybe trim it up a little bit in back for me, but I cut his hair, so it's not like I'm totally illiterate with cutting, but I think I did whack it a little too close on the left side. But hey, my hair grows so fast, 2 weeks it'll be back out. Anyway, I had to share that with y'all this morning. I thought you'd get a kick out of the fact, you know, drastic times calls for drastic measures, and it had gotten that way with my hair. What I want to bring you today is I've got some Stampin' Up! Products. I hope y'all aren't sick of seeing Stampin' Up! Please remember that you do not have to use the Stampin' Up! Products. Use what you got. But if you do want to purchase any of these products, I will link my website below, and you can go and pick up any of these items at my store. They'll be shipped directly to you. I appreciate anything that y'all do to help me out. This is my livelihood now, is selling products in my little online store, Random Acts of Crafting, and also doing my Stampin' Up! Business. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to show you what I've got. First of all, I'm going to start with my my card base. And my card base is an 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score this at 4 1/4. So I'm going to move everything off, and I'm going to bring my little handy dandy paper trimmer score over here. And I want to tell y'all girls something, and guys, whoever's watching, if you have not used this trimmer, you are missing out. I cannot tell you how much I have enjoyed this little trimmer. Trimmer/score. So I never have to pull out unless I'm working on some type of big project where I've got to make a lot of scores, then I'll pull my scoreboard out. But just to do a card, it's that simple. Look at that. Beautiful score mark, and it's done. You can actually cut and trim at the same time. And I started to do that, but then I thought, no, I want y'all to just see my actions. So I'm just going to press that down with my bone folder to get a nice crisp look on it. And I'm going to have this card opening like this. So the next thing I have is I have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4, and this is going to go down right here. I also used an embossing folder, and I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's called Flowers, and this, or Simple Flowers, and this is an older Cuttlebug folder that I've had for ages, and I put this in here and ran it through my machine, and this is going to go on top of here, just like that. Then I used these dies. These dies are gorgeous. Look at that. And I cut a white piece, and I cut these leaves. I cut 2 of these leaves, and I cut this beautiful piece in white. This is going to live right on the front of our card like that, and we're going to stamp Happy Birthday in red right there. But I want these little leaves to kind of come down and up, like they're just coming out of that little flourish. Isn't that cute? I love this die set. I mean, look at this. I mean, you get all of this on this little die set, and you got these other little ovals and this other little window, a thing for a flower. You got these leaves, and then you got this little vine. I mean, it is just an adorable die set. And I was thinking this morning, a lot of times people don't want to purchase Stampin' Up! Products. I was this way for years. And let me tell you, not only are you getting your dies, but you're also getting a storage system to keep them in. Look at this wonderful, heavy duty. I mean, this is not a lightweight. And I cut some extra pieces when I first got it, and I usually store those in my envelope. So let me slide this back in. Now, I did put mine on magnets. They don't come on magnets. So if you want yours on a magnetic sheet, you do have to cut your own magnetic sheet. But even without doing that, you've got a wonderful place to store your dies. And this envelope is very heavy duty. I mean, it's not a cheap envelope. It's not, and it's got these nice little closures that, well, you know how it is when you're trying to show somebody how to do something. It never works. But this goes up in here like that, and it closes up, and that's such a nice way to keep your dies. So the next thing I want to do, I did bring out my Real Red because I want to do Happy Birthday in Real Red. And the Happy Birthday that I want to use is from Here's a Card. I love that Happy Birthday. It's just precious. So I'm going to take that one out and grab a stamp block. And y'all know I always line up my stamps using my grid. So I'm using my grid right here. And then I'm going to put it on the stamp block using my grid. And what that does, it helps me get it straight when I'm putting it onto my, my piece of paper. And for this piece, I think I am going to use some of the snail. And I am going to put just a tiny bit on the back. Just enough to keep it right there, nice and even, so that when I stamp, I will have that exactly where I want it. Now, this is a beautiful, rich red. Nice and juicy I love these ink pads. I wasn't sure I was going to like them, but I really, really like them. Okay, and down. I'm just going to hold that there just for a minute. And then I am going to lift it up. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? I'm going to zoom y'all in a little bit so you can see this. And pull that up. And look. Isn't that gorgeous? I love those. I think they are so pretty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with building my card from the top down. I always feel like that. Let's see if we want to do these up this way. Let's see how that looks. I think I like them going like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it just to the edge of the card like that. Let it hang over a little bit because we know we've got a little extra here. So I'm going to put some glue on those, and I'm going to use just a little art glitter glue, and I'm just going to dab, dab, dab. And stick that right there in that corner, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm just going to run some glue right down the middle of this little vine leaf. A little bit around the edges of some of these. This is so delicate, so beautiful. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pop it where it comes just off the edge like that. Now we need to put some glue on this. So this I want to be centered just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on these little tabs. I'm going to put some glue in the middle and a little bit on that tab. And then I'm going to hold it like this so I can get it centered just like I want it. And I'm going to use the edges of this to get me centered. And then just press it down ever so gently like that. Now we're going to go ahead and adhere this to this little white piece so that it will frame. Looks like I didn't get quite enough of glue on. No, I got glue on it. I just didn't press it. There we go. Alright, now we're going to put glue on the back of this one. And you see it's debossed on the back, so I'm going to be a little more generous with my glue because it's got to hold in all the places that it's sitting up. I'm going to make sure I go in on the places that's not indented in, and just make sure I get enough of glue so it's going to hold it. And y'all know art glitter glue holds really well. Now I want to put this down where I have just that scant border around the edges, trying to get it as even as possible, and then press that down. And then we're ready to take this to our card. So now our card base, we're going to put the whole thing down on here. Y'all know I love a layered card. Now I'm going to close my ink up because I'm not using this right now. And the one thing you don't want to do is have your ink pads dry out on you. So make sure when you close those up, you snap them so they don't get air. Very, very important. Okay, so this one I'm going even on flat on flat, so I'm just going to put my glue down like I always do in my circles. And I know that looks like a lot of glue, but really it's not. Now I'm going to lay this out like this so that I can see exactly my borders. And then I'm going to lay that down. Just like that. I love a black and white. I think black and white is so elegant. So very elegant. And look at that. Is that not beautiful? I mean, look at the detail of that die. Okay, so now we're ready to do the inside. Now the inside is just going to be a mat, and I cut this mat at 4 by 5 1/4. So we're gonna, before we put it in, we're gonna do some stamping. So what I want to do is I want to, let me scrub, do a little scrubby on this stamp real quick. Okay, we got that one cleaned off. I'm just going to lay happy birthday right there for a minute because I want to do a little bit. I did use this die, and this die is from the same set, the detailed band dies, and I thought, how pretty would this be across the bottom? Just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down first. Just put my pen back in my glue, and here I go. Now I'm not going to worry about the middle of it. I'm just going to put it on the band. This is why they call these band dies, because they got these beautiful bands that just really add a touch of elegance to your cards. So put that one down right there. Making sure I'm getting it nice and even. That looks really good. So the other thing that I want to do is I want to put another Sensational Year of You. And I think that would be the perfect sentiment for this card. Oops. So I'm going to stamp this again in that red because I want the font to all be in the same color. I'm very cohesive when it comes to certain things with my cards. So I'm going to lay this down, again getting it lined up and then lined up, and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle, right about there. So let me load up my red ink again. And it looks like I got it around the edges of my stamp a little bit, and I don't want to do that. So let me, I tell you what, let me clean this off and we're going to go into the ink again. I think I went too hard. That's one thing you have to learn when you start using the Stampin' Up! Inks. You can't be heavy-handed. You just got to barely kiss them. And it's hard to learn to do that. It is for me, because I've always had to really ink. So I'm going to put this right here in the middle. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to stamp a couple of little roses, and this Dress to Impress stamp has got these little roses. I love that one. So I'm going to stamp this in black, and I'm going to use Mementos, and maybe I won't. Maybe I'll use VersaFine. I'll color this with my Tombow markers because it's a small image. So let me pull out that stamp, and these are photopolymer. So I want the stamp right here. And I think the red rose in the corner will just set this off enough to make this card super, super elegant. So do I want my... I am still thinking I want to do them with alcohol markers. Y'all know I love... Yeah, I want to do it with alcohol. Y'all know how indecisive I am. Okay, let's grab this and stamp. I'm going to stamp off on something else to make sure I'm getting a good image before... Yeah, see, that's kind of pale. So I want to make sure that I'm getting a good image. I think that'll be good. And we're going to stamp this right here. I'm going to hold it, hold it, hold it. This is one mistake that so many crafters make with stamping, you are in too big of a hurry. Let that ink transfer. Perfect. So I'm going to do it again on the other side. And you know, we can't have enough of birthday cards because we always have birthdays. Somebody we know is having a birthday almost all the time. I'm holding it with nice firm pressure. And there we go. So now we got our two little roses at the top. And of course I dropped my stamp block with my stamp on it. Okay, we'll clean that up in a little bit. I did wipe it off just a bit. Alright, so let me put my pen back in my glue. I got glue all over my fingers and I've got, look at that, I got ink all over me. I must be having fun, right? It is, I tell you what, I feel really good today. I guess y'all can tell. Today's been a really good day for me so far. And some days I don't have such good days. I'm going to pull this over a little bit. I got to move this mat. Evidently I got my big mat scooted too far. So now I'm not getting this one over into the camera where I want it. Alright, let me grab, I want to grab this red. And I think I'm going to go into the center with this plum red. And I think I'm going to come out a little lighter as I go out. And I probably should have done my lighter color first, but that's okay. Let me grab a pink. And I am thinking I want this lighter pink. Let's see how this is going to look. I am still waiting for my Tombow. I mean not Tombow. Those are the markers. I'm still waiting for my Nuvo order to come in. So as soon as it does, I will post that my stuff is in, and then hopefully y'all can go shopping for a little bit, and people that are needing these markers, you can get them. I'm going to use this red and come into the middle a little bit. I didn't like that orangey. This was a plum tomato. It was a little bit too orange for what I was going for. So I'm going to do, I went in with that one. So I'm going to come back with the lighter one. And just kind of blend it. And then I'm going to use that pink one and blend even more. Yeah, I love the way that looks. Now I'm just going to use, I'm going to use one green, and I'm using 412 for my leaves. I just want to keep this light. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead while I'm doing leaves and do these. And now I'm going to come back in with the light pink. This time I want to try to do this the right way. I'm going to do the whole thing with the light pink. Making sure I get enough of color all the way over it. Then I'm going to take my lighter red. This one is 379. And I'm going to go into that center. Just kind of willy-nilly. Then I'm going to take that pink again. And I'm going to blow on that just a little bit and help that alcohol ink to evaporate. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to pull that color out to the edges using this lighter one. And see how beautiful that blended like that? I think I like it better when I do the darker one. But now I am going to go in with the darker one, and I'm just going to put down a little bit of color right there in the center. And then the lighter one, this was the 377, and then I'm going to blend that out. Just like that. And that's all that rose needs. Aren't they pretty? Now let's bring our card back over, and all we have to do now is adhere this to here. So I think I'm going to use my ATG gun for this. So I'm going to put some tape all the way around the edges, and a little piece across the middle. And then I am ready to get this. Oops, I got a little bit of tape hanging over. If you ever use one of those and you have tape hanging over, just roll it back onto itself. It's not a biggie. Alright, I'm going to put this down, getting a nice little border all the way around. Just like that. Isn't that a pretty card? Oop, 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 oop. That stuck to my card. Look how pretty. I think this would be a birthday card that you, and I mean, how quick was that? We made this card in no time flat. Now, I grant you, I had already die cut and had pre-cut my pieces, but even with that, you can make this card in probably less than an hour. I would say 45 minutes, if that. And what a beautiful card. I will list all the supplies that I used to make this in case you want to pick any of this up. But like I said, use what you got. Grab a happy birthday stamp that you love. Grab a framelit, even if you have nothing but an oval, and cut a strip to go behind it. There's so many ways you can I always tell you I want my cards to be an inspiration. You don't have to do it the way I do it, but it is an inspiration. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Friday. No, I'm sorry. This will go up on Saturday. I always try to record a day ahead. So this is Friday, but you will see this video tomorrow. God bless you all so very much. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I pray for y'all each and every day, and I just love you to pieces. Thank you so much for being a part of my crafty family. God bless. Remember to always let everything that you do and say, every sound that comes from your tongue, let it be glory to our Lord and Savior. He is so worthy. I love you all. Jesus loves you. And until we craft again, bye-bye.